Waving the flag of sackcloth for humility. I'm Mel McGinnis with another edition of the Sophie Scholl Monologue. You've heard of cancel culture, haven't you? Of course you have. If you use the wrong preferred pronoun, you would get canceled. And other matters like that, which would put people in an awkward position, making them shut up through the force of the left silencing speech. A couple of days ago, wasn't all that long ago, I saw a meme on my Facebook account. It's from a person who constantly puts up left-wing posts. On it was a picture of Donald Trump. It was from Vote Blue. You get the idea where this is coming from. Vote Blue had a meme that said, "The most hated POS in the world." I don't think I need to explain POS. Adding, "second only to Hitler." But it wasn't Hitler, as it was stated with a capital S before the H in Hitler. Where is the mind of the left think that Donald Trump ranks second to Hitler? Haven't they heard of Pol Pot, Joseph Stalin? What about all those leaders in communist Eastern Europe back in the day, in the last century? Shake my head at what I see regarding posts at time. And then, following that up, news broke about a survey that revealed half of Americans who lean left believe murdering Donald Trump and billionaire Elon Musk can be justified. Appreciate the Christian Post writing about this. And as the Post began to elaborate on the findings of the Network Contagion Research Institute, working with Rutgers University Social Perception Lab, it mentioned in the report titled "Assassination Culture: How Burning Teslas and Killing Billionaires Became a Meme Aesthetic for Political Violence." The main takeaway? A broader assassination culture appears to be emerging within segments of the U.S. public on the extreme left. Now, 31.6% of the respondents maintained that murdering Musk was at least somewhat justified. But that number rose to 48.6% among Americans who identify as left of center. You see the correlation as well with the destruction of Teslas on car lots. You see the correlation as well with Luigi Mangione, who killed the CEO of United Healthcare, Brian Thompson. All these correlations fit together. And the report stated, given the current economic volatility and institutional distrust, the online normalization of political violence may increasingly translate into offline action. Take note of that. The report also said, taken together, the findings underscore the erosion of democratic norms and the growing acceptability of political violence in American discourse. I wouldn't say merely the erosion of democratic norms. It shows the rejection of a biblical worldview. Anyone who has a biblical worldview would dismiss justification for killing a political leader they don't like. Now, we think of the exception, of course, with what Dietrich Bonhoeffer did in conspiring with others to eliminate Hitler. But to equate somebody like Donald Trump with Hitler goes way overboard. We see the erosion of democratic norms due to the rejection of a Christian worldview. And we see how the Christian worldview is one ignored, particularly by those on the left. And yet there is a group out there called the Christian left that may not subscribe to what is being advanced by this assassination culture, but I think the Christian left fits into it. Not saying that they're a part of it, but what they believe would feed into that kind of mentality. It's interesting. This isn't a Democrat problem. It's also a Republican problem. Because the survey showed that 29% of Republicans suggested that murdering a powerful political figure is at least somewhat justified. 29% of Republicans. Now, I'm not saying all Republicans are Christian, but a good portion of them would claim to be a believer. This is contrary to a Christian worldview. You see Christians in places where they're being persecuted severely. You can go right down the list. Sudan, Libya, Nigeria, North Korea, Iran. You get the idea. But Christians aren't conspiring to knock off the political leader that's there. What is in the mind of some Republicans that would justify this? Like I say, the exception, of course, would be Hitler and maybe somebody like Stalin. But to just do this to any political figure you don't like or don't agree with or have issues with, got to step back and give thorough theological reflection about this kind of mentality that advances an assassination culture. Now, 29% of Republicans believe this, but 41% do so among the Democrats. This needs to be challenged. And that's what this part of the Sophie Scholl Monologue does today. And I appreciate individuals like Ryan Foley of the Christian Post, who makes these findings known. Well, unlike Tony Kornheiser of Pardon the Interruption, I cannot promise you that I'll do better the next time. And unlike Tony, who waves another flag, I'm just going to wave the flag of sackcloth for humility. I'm Mel McGinnis, and as a follower of Jesus, I need Jesus. Our nation needs Jesus. A people who have Jesus will reject the assassination culture.